Dennis, so how's preparations going?
Going really well. Like I say, it's easy to sit here like most teams will, and our off-season's been really good and the lads have settled in. The one thing we've come through this pre-season with and we've worked really hard is keeping bodies on feet. I think it's one of those things that we struggled with last year, and keeping the lads in a good frame of mind, the positivity of the new signings, Chris, Wellington and Stanton's been good. The ability to maybe to bring somebody else in, like I said, if we can, if we find the right person, but also like having Christine in the side constantly and John Mellor in the team all the time training, and Tom Gilmore training all the time, Chris and Reese, everybody fit and on their feet and training has been real positive, which is something we didn't have last pre-season. And I said, like last pre-season we had a bit of a reflective chat with the coaches the other day just on this year and what the difference was, and we keep forgetting that actually like this is a big kick in the teeth that we incurred last year was losing our captain and best player in the middle of our pre-season. It sort of had that knock-on effect throughout our start and leading into the year, but we've not had that this year. We've been pretty solid. The lads have got some good work in. They've got the bit between the teeth, and like I say, they're still smarting from not giving what they believe to be their best chances last year.
Right. You chose to have a bit of a gap between your last friendly and the first game of Super League, so the fans haven't seen the lads for a while. What have you been doing in that time in between? What's been the key focus?
Training. And again, the hardest thing in pre-season, especially through January, if you run games every single week, is what your training looks like. And no matter who you play, friendlies are friendlies. It's like I say, you try and replicate the intensity of a top-end game when you want to play at that level, but it's hard when you bring somebody in and everybody's got one eye on the fact that does it really mean anything? The young kids are really fighting hard and trying to give themselves an opportunity. The older boys have been there and done that. So pre-seasons are pretty strange things. I know sides that have had games every single week leading into the season and gone flying, and I know coaches that have played one or two and their season and they started really well, but it also works the other way. Yeah. I think when we looked at our pre-season this year and we reflected on what we wanted to do, the Wellington game was always something traditionally that we like to do over the Christmas period, so the young kids get a chance to, because they're probably in earlier than most of the other lads, to start end a little bit earlier and come in a little bit earlier, gives them an opportunity to put their foot on a big stage, so to speak. And the other games are about just finding some rhythm, and I thought we got some good rhythm out of the Whitehaven game, but we've also been able to train at a better level on our own. We've got a decent academy set up here now, got some real good kids, and those kids are trying to push themselves into a top squad, so it's been pretty intense in a few of our 13 on 13 with our younger boys as well, so we've managed to replicate that, and I'm coming in with a healthy group. So at the moment I'm only looking at probably Gil Dudson and Alex Gerrard not being up for selection from my top panel, so it's a real positive.
Yeah. So you're talking 20 odd players for?
Yeah, I'm talking nearly 25, 26 players in the mix for that group.
For that first game, yeah. So Catalan Dragons come to town. Are they a little bit more of an unknown quantity this year compared to last, with Steve now having had a full pre-season to put his own stamp on things?
He's recruited really well. I think he's picked up a couple of high quality players. He's probably done things a little bit different through their pre-season than they would have been used to. So yeah, you're bound to get a little bit of a kick and a change. Like I say, after he's had a little bit of time with the group to just enforce what he wants. I think it would have been hard last year coming in with that group, especially in the mindset that they had at the point of the season they were in. So he'll, like I say, and Mead's a good signing. Lewis Turney has been full time there now and pretty happy and settled in there. I think Semisoni Lang is a real like, solid acquisition. I think he's a really good player. The Walsh is still there. Paul Hayter, like I say, they've got a great group of players, and it's going to be a real tough game.
Yeah. If you sort of look back to when you were first putting your plans in place for the start of this season and look at where you are now, are you happy? Are you on track? Are you as pleased as you could be?
Again, pre-seasons are really strange. I've come into some pre-seasons really a bit edgy and we've started really well. I've come into some with with great anticipation of what's to come, and then we've lost a couple, 4 or 5 players in the week before we started in training, or so it's hard really, until I would like to put it, the proof's in the eating. It's not in the pudding, it's in the eating of it. It's like I say, we all look pretty good at the moment. Our training's gone really well, everybody's really healthy. Stuff of the numbers coming back from some of our testing is really positive, so we're in a good place physically and mentally at the moment, but we've got to get on the field and we've got to play and we've got to perform.
Just one final one. Everybody's excited to see the new players, as you are at any start of a season, but probably especially so the brothers from Papua New Guinea. How have they settled in?
Brilliant. Again, they just had, I was trying to strange things. They were keen to get here. Once we've got them in, they've both got the visas now. They're in the group. They're working hard. They've settled in really well. I've got a decent bunch of lads here. But these 2 lads, they've not come straight from Papua New Guinea. They've both been in NRL environments. They're not donkeys. They're good players. I mean, just because they struggle to make NRL sides doesn't mean that I've plucked them out of nowhere. They've played international rugby. They've travelled a bit with international rugby. They've had to uproot themselves and take themselves to Australia, albeit a little bit warmer than Widnes. It's not something that they're not used to doing, and they're enjoying being in this country. I don't think they've got used to the weather. I don't think anybody ever gets used to the weather over here anyway. So, but they're looking forward to playing. Like I said, they're up for selection at the moment, so they're in that panel there. Whether one or both of them will play, it'll be a discussion we'll have in the next couple of days over the selection to start in 17.
Any final message for the fans that you'd like to put across at this point in the year?
I think be excited. Be excited by your team. Be excited by what we've done with our recruitment. Be excited by the youth that we're developing, and get behind us. I say that's what this club needs. It needs its supporters. It needs the people that are going to drive it forward, and that's the people turn up on game day.